My son here looking to buy his first car.
Driver don't pick the car. Car pick the driver.
Roll cameras!
Sound speed. B-Mark.
And action!
Are we talking about an invasion?
This movie, Transformers, it's just got an immense scope in terms of how big it looks.
We're under attack!
Michael Bay was born to direct Transformers. There's so much action.
Mike said he's never done a film with this many set pieces. There's 15 set pieces. That's crazy.
We're facing war against a technological civilization far superior to our own.
We're so dead.
The special effects here are extraordinary, and it has some interesting characters and a great sense of fun.
What did they get you for?
I bought a car, turned out to be an alien robot. Who knew?
Everyone can go and see this film, and there's characters in it that everyone can relate to.
That killer robot is really distracting!
It was a lot of fun. I got to see some things that I'd never seen before. And the robots are just wicked, like really cool.
Parents come out here and they see you, they're gonna freak out. Oh, God! It's been quite an experience, man. It's a real journey. I've never experienced anything like this. No, Dad! Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, I am. You're not getting a Porsche.
Steven Spielberg called me up and said, I'd love you to do this movie, Transformers. He said, it's about a boy buying his first car. It just so happens to be an alien robot.
Sam, let me talk to you. Your first enchilada of freedom awaits underneath one of those hoods.
Sam, he's sort of a nebbishy guy. He's bored with his life. You know, he's stuck in school and searching for an adventure.
Feels good.
How much?
$5 grand.
No, I'm not paying over 4. Sorry.
Come on, get out the car.
You said cars pick their drivers.
Well, sometimes they pick a driver with a cheap ass phone. Out the car.
I bro. Oh, whoa! Oh, my God.
One of my producers said to me, you should get this kid Shia. And I knew instantly that I liked him. Because he's the everyday dude, but as an actor, he's got a great comic wit, and it felt real.
Michaela! It's Sam. So listen, I was wondering if I could ride you home. Give you a ride home.
I play Michaela. She's a tough girl. She's a tomboy. She likes to work with cars.
You've got a high-rise double-pump carburetor. It's pretty impressive, Sam. It looks like your distributor cap's a little loose.
That's weird. I just wouldn't peg you for mechanical.
She's not your typical girly girl. And, you know, everybody makes fun of Sam because he's a little nerdy. But he gives Michaela a ride home. And that's sort of how the relationship starts.
That's my car!
Sam, one night he wakes up in the middle of the night because he thinks the car's being stolen. He hears the car turn on and drive off, and he follows it, and he sees it transform.
This really dumpy yellow Camaro turns into Bumblebee, our first Transformer character, who has been placed in his life to protect Sam because he has something that Transformers need.
Transformers are robots in disguise. So this is an alien race split into two factions. The Autobots, which tend to be decent and good, and Decepticons, which by the name you can tell you shouldn't trust them very much. And they're both on Earth looking for an artifact from their planet that they both desperately need.
This thing, if anybody got control over it, they would have ultimate power.
And the Decepticons, they want to exploit the power of this device, which would ultimately destroy our world. So the Autobots are here trying to protect the world from this evil breaking in.
Hey, you guys remember weekends? Cold hot dog and a flat beer?
Perfect day.
What about you, Captain? You got a perfect day?
I just can't wait to hold my baby girl for the first time.
Captain Lennox is in charge of this Army Ranger team.
Ah, my ladies! He's a guy who's seen a lot of stuff with a wife and a baby girl that was born after he was already gone, so His whole thing is to try to get back to his wife and to see his little girl for the first time.
4500X, something's not right.
Bogies on the deck. On the right! Check fire! Get your fuel!
Thank God.
The way it starts, our base gets struck by these huge robots.
The movie, since it's got such a thread of the military throughout, we needed to come to the Department of Defense and get their cooperation.
I worked with a bunch of SEALs in the Rock. Then from there, Armageddon was the first kind of cooperation with the Air Force. We then did Pearl Harbor. That was like the largest military cooperation they've ever done.
We know how to work with him, and he knows how to work with us, so it's a good relationship. Well, an example at Holloman Air Force Base, and they have what's known as a tank graveyard. And there's probably 1,000 tanks and self-propelled artillery pieces and stuff like that.
Which one do you like the least?
And the first time I took Michael in there, he was like a kid at Christmas. He was like, can I have that? Can I have that? Can I burn that? Can I blow that up, you know?
The access is just unbelievable. You know, we're filming stealth fighter jets today, and we're in a C-17, and there were some A-10s.
Okay, come higher up, right now.
We used Warthogs. They get very low, and it's got a lethal cannon on it. I was also the first to use the Ospreys, which are kind of like a helicopter plane. It looks very dangerous, if you ask me.
And then they trusted us with the F-22, which has never been seen before. It's not even in the military inventory yet.
Those are the new $130 million fighters, which can go up against 5 or 6 F-16s, and they can't even take it on.
You gotta worry about what's above you.
I always think boot camps is essential if you're going to do anything military to try to take away the Hollywood. And so I put the actors with real United States SEALs.
They told us how they would react, what to do, and we worked our ass off.
You really walked away with a respect for the amount of preparation that goes into being a soldier in the military.
I didn't get a name yet. Call sign.
That depends on how the flight goes.
Hope it's not Vomit Boy.
I got to fly in a T-38. I had to go through 4 or 5 hours of training.
If you eject at really high altitude, it lets you fall with your parachute on your back.
You know, they basically tell you, okay, this is what's going to happen if you have to eject. And they make it feel as if there's a good chance that this will happen. I had to change shorts after I left training.
Hands up! Oh, hey! What? Hands up! Whoa!
What the heck was that?
Whoa! Watch out!
These robots want to get that team. So there's this robot called Scorponok's that's tracking them. He's tracking them under the sand.
It's right on you know what I'm saying? So you've got to have that in your faces. All right?
All right. There's a shot where that gigantic Scorponok jumps out. So we had primer cord, which can take down a tree or destroy a car. It's a little like rope-like explosive. But when you trigger it, it blows up, and it blows up hard. I had them lay out like 200 of these strands so that it makes it look kind of like a wave coming at you, and I would use that as to help make the Scorponoks coming out. But the actors, they had to run, and I'm like, Tyrese, don't trip. If it goes off, you better run.
3, 2, 1.
That fear on their face was them being real.
Here we go, look at it. It's just crazy, but it was one of the best moments I've ever had in filming.
At 1900 local time yesterday, Soxon Forward Operations Base in Qatar was attacked, and the only real lead we have is this sound.
Do you hear that? I think they're hacking the network.
I play a young computer data analyst, and her instinct is really that there is something much more sinister going on than everyone thinks.
There's only one hacker in the world who can break this code.
Glenn is just a normal, everyday hacker that lives with his grandmother.
Like, I will go to jail for the rest of my life for showing you classified.
Yes!
There's this computer language that no one can seem to decipher, so they come to the smart guy. HR's been tracking all my movements since the last time. You know they almost traced us. I have a computer hacking problem. I've actually hacked into the Pentagon a few times. They gonna come through that door and be good cop, bad cop. Don't fall for that, all right? I've actually been caught. They could never prove anything, per se. She did! She did it! She's the one you want! I have done nothing.
Michael felt very passionately about bringing fresh faces to this world. And Anthony in particular, he's always so great, you know? And then you have Shia, he's an amazing actor. And then you mix that with veterans like John Voight, Academy Award winner, and John Turturro. Makes it feel very fresh.
Ronald Wickedy?
It's Witwicky. Who are you?
With the government, Sector 7.
Never heard of it.
Never will.
John Turturro is Agent Simmons, and he takes his job very seriously.
May I enter the premises, sir?
I'm the head of Sector 7. We live in this kind of secret society, and that obviously influences, or at least my behavior.
Last night at the station, you told the officer your car transformed.
This is a total misunderstanding, that my car had been stolen.
Really?
But it's fine now because it's back.
Well, not by itself.
Well, no.
Because cars don't do that, because that would be crazy.
So what do you kids know about aliens, huh?
Mike, he'll give you 6 takes of playtime. And on a film of this scale, you don't get playtime usually for the actor.
B-Mark.
Action!
I just have such a weakness for hot guys, for a six-pack and big arms.
See that light right there? I just put that in. And that disco ball right there. It's acting on the fly. Because a lot of this is spontaneous, and you need to be able to adapt.
The thing's gonna whiz by, ready, and sing! What was that?
Michael will come in and say, look, what can be funny here? Oh, I got a family history of heart trouble. This can't be good for me.
I want you to do this. Did you hear me now? Did you hear me now? No.
I like to keep my set a little bit free-flowing, just keep it fresh for the actors.
Let's load up, let's shoot!
And I shoot really fast. I come into the set, I'm ready to go. When I get there, I want to start shooting.
Here we go. Ready?
He shoots so fast that once you're on set, you don't sit down and you're on the go all the time.
Cut, good. Let's move on.
He's got a tireless kind of energy. He jumps around almost like he's creating at the moment, and sometimes he is.
Let's get a little green smoke in the background right now.
It's this wild energy. That's how he gets into it. It's like an actor getting into character.
Running, running.
It works like his shoes are on fire.
Give me that handheld. Give me the handheld right now.
He's General Patton, you know? He's hard, right, Michael Bay?
All right, ready?
But he has an amazing visual sense.
Well, we started trying to figure out what the Transformers would be, what vehicles we would use. We downloaded every picture of every car that was available. And then we'd bring Michael in and we'd start picking cars.
This is what I'm into, this.
Right.
I opened it up to any car company. I mean, literally thinking from Ferrari to Jaguar. And then I went to GM and I got into where they make their stealthy concept cars. And I saw this car, and what it is the new Camaro.
What?
And what I liked about it, it kind of had a retro look. It was a muscle car, and I just, right then and there, I knew it was Bumblebee.
You got to be really careful with them, because to fix that car is a big deal. You just don't get another Bumblebee fender because there aren't any. All the parts were individually made.
All right, let's try to do this.
The car is such an important car. They only have 4 of them in the world. So they got GM guys on site. It's wipe your feet off before you get into the car, keep your hands on the steering wheel. I mean, it's a $500,000 prototype. But if I crash it into a wall, it's not my fault, you know, because I'm an actor.
GM gave us a lot of different cars, and some of them we spent several $100,000 in terms of retrofitting them and making them look special.
Jazz was based on a Solstice, and we made a hard top for it. We put fairings, we put a little spoiler on the back and some louvers on the hood, and we kind of just jazzed it up a little bit.
I saw a picture of a truck, and it was lowered and it had flames on it, and I'm like, that's Optimus Prime.
This is Optimus Prime here, baby. Good looking truck.
Decepticons are coming.
Get out of here!
Dear God.
I've never been in a film on this magnitude because Mike, he is the sickest action director on the planet.
I was actually kind of nervous about it, but the explosions and the action movie stuff was so much fun.
It seems like 90% of it is running and jumping, and John Voight's fast. He outran me.
Okay, so I'm gonna come in here, and then I'm gonna jump into here. Sure.
I'm a little old to be playing this kind of game with the kids, but I love the physicality.
I understand he wants to be in the hot movie of the summer.
Cover fire!
But he needs to relax a little bit. He's making us young guys look bad.
Get down!
I do it roll and tuck with a gun in my hand. It's funny. Everybody says, "Did you see what John did?" And I say, "Hey, fellas, I'm not going yet. I'm still in the game here."
3, 2, 1, go!
There's a lot of scary on this movie. Mike, he knows how much you can take, but he's gonna push you. Michael put a camera on the ground and it's in a bulletproof box so you don't break the camera and your face is right next to it. And your thinking is, they're protecting the camera, why don't I have a bulletproof box?
I had put Shia through a lot. We had this scene where he's facing off against Megatron. And I said, Shia, we're gonna put you up there. And he literally has 4 inches to stand and it's 17 stories down.
Mike! Yeah? Are these just close-ups? No, they're wide. We see your face. We're showing that it's you up here. Because if it's just close-ups, we can do that anywhere. That's lame.
And he goes, I can't do it, Mike. I can't do it. And I'm like, dude, it's like Fear Factor.
I'm serious. All right, let's do it. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
Ready.
Once he said that was a personal challenge, and Shia jumped up on the building and did the sequence.
Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Where do we go? Oh. Oh.
We did it, and I think he loved it, but I gotta tell you, it's scary going out there.
The movie's building to a big face-off between the Autobots and the Decepticons, and the humans are caught right in the middle of it.
No!
They can't hide anymore. Like the war is finally, the stakes are too high, and it's finally spilled out literally into our cities.
Retreat! Fall back! This isn't going well.
I think the most challenging thing was probably just being downtown and figuring out how to make it wicked in the middle of Los Angeles.
That's the trickiest location I've ever had to put together. The city of LA, they really weren't into it at all, especially given Michael's penchant for blowing things up. But once we got them on board, they were fantastic.
We brought in our big craters and our smoke and our fire and our upside-down cars and kind of made ourselves at home downtown LA. We try to put the audience inside the action. And the closer we get to it, the more we capture that for the audience. So the first thing we built was the high-speed go-kart.
It goes like 100 miles an hour, and it's just a very small vibrating camera that's real low to the ground.
The go-kart has very tight suspension to get vibration out of the camera. So there's a lot of energy in those shots.
Also, we shot with this new device, the Porsche Cayenne, and there are like 5 guys in the car. And then you got the operator who's controlling the camera work, and there's a crane that's attached to the top, and it can go 360, and it does these moves. And I use it as like my robot dolly.
Another vehicle that we use is the Baybuster, which is a truck with a roll cage on the exterior of the vehicle. And it's kind of like a suicide machine. We have 4 cameras on the front end. And if we have cars being thrown off the top of car carriers, I'll actually drive the Baybuster right into it.
Michael, his ability to deal with real elements in camera is very, very rare. A lot of people now just lean on CGI when they can't figure it out. Michael's instinct is to do everything live action.
I think I've done so many car things, I figured I got to come up with something new.
Break off so we can see it.
Let's see. So this is a Porsche Cayenne going with our bus. He's going to start falling into this lane right here, all right?
Michael Bay said we need like a big moment. And I said, I've got this idea for a bus. We've never actually done this before. We'll put a stunt driver in the bus, Once he got 60 miles an hour, he hits a bomb that slices the bus in half. He hits another button that detonates 3 cannons in the back of the bus that's in the back end of the bus tumbling end over end.
Ready and rolling cameras!
But no one really knew what the bus was going to do.
3, 2, 1.
Physical effects are a big thing for me because that's how you get a lot of the realism, and it's big physical stuff.
We're really safe and really cautious, but we're always right there on the edge. It is dangerous. We're dealing with large amounts of explosives. We're blowing up buildings.
It's been the most exciting job I've ever had, that's for sure. As soon as it goes, there's just crap in your face. So it feels real.
It's what makes it awesome, you know? It makes it intense. It's your adrenaline is pumping.
From my perspective, it's been war since I showed up. Had I not been as fast as I am, that would have been the end of me in this film. It was nuts. I don't think I'll ever be wowed by a big setup on a movie again.
Despite the fact that this is a really big film and there is a lot of special effects, I do think the characters are really human, and that's what matters.
No matter what happens, I'm really glad I got in that car with you.
I'm very stoked about this movie.
It's a robot.
First of all, it's going to be a very funny movie.
It's probably Japanese.
It's got wonderment to it. And I also think for adults, it actually brings the kid out in you.
It's just so much grander than what I expected it to be. It's huge.
It's like, how did they do that? And you can't figure it out. It's just mind-blowing.
It just takes your breath away. And you just can't tell what's going to come next.
Bring it!